Internet, what's up? I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've been having to kind of build up to it for 2 years, but now is, no better a time than ever. Where the fuck have you been? I've been doing this channel by myself for like fucking a year.
It's been a rough couple months.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Halloween is from 1978 and is written and directed by John Carpenter and stars Jamie Lee Curtis, and it tells the story of a deranged inmate who breaks out of an institution on Halloween night and stalks some babysitters.
Originally titled as The Babysitter Murders, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yes, I believe that was the working project intended to be the title, which didn't pan out and was just scrapped and retitled as Halloween.
It's considered a classic in these.
It's considered
it is a classic. You're right.
Although some members of this channel, not naming any names, may debate that, I'm looking right at you and you know who you are. You are my flesh and blood, and I will come for you in your sleep.
It is a classic. It kind of, no, I don't want to say it started the slasher subgenre because it didn't, Peeping Tom did, but it gave it new life and it created it as it is today. It gave it the form that it took for most of the 80s.
Yes, it gave it the structure, the slasher structure.
Yes, absolutely.
Everything succeeding it, not preceding, succeeding.
No, succeeding, yes.
Everything succeeding it took.
Yes. I am not hugely versed in the backstory of this film like he is. Is this one of your favorite films?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. It was made for $300,000, which is virtually no money, although back in the day it was worth a little more than it is now.
So the movie was shot in, I believe, Pasadena, California, in the spring/early summer of 1977. We're so low on budget and couldn't wait for a fall filming time and had such a tight deadline, if I'm right. They actually bought fake leaves and I think spray painted them brown or red.
I did actually hear this.
Yes, and they would literally scatter the leaves with a leaf blower, blow them around in the scene, make it look like they were blowing around the fall wind, and then literally pick up every fucking leaf after every shot and redo it.
Yep, that sounds about right. Featuring now infamous character Michael Myers, who at the time was not referred to as Michael Myers, but rather The Shape. Is in The Shape of Evil.
They definitely mentioned
his name. They mentioned his name, but I'm saying, like, in terms of crediting, in terms of all that.
The Shape. Nick Castle portrayed The Shape.
Yes.
When Annie is standing out in front of the bush after Laurie sees Michael, and Annie goes to investigate. Oh, Laurie, he's cute. He wants to take you on a date. You can clearly see just a
cloud of smoke.
Behind. Just go right across the screen. Where did that come from?
That's John Carpenter smoking.
Carpenter chain smoking on the set because he was probably stressed out as fuck.
Most people know that the mask for the infamous white mask that Michael wears is a William Shatner mask with the eyes cut out.
1977 Star Trek mask.
Painted white.
With the eyes widened.
Powdered hair. Eyes cut out. Yep.
And they're actually behind-the-scenes photos that you can see the shitty paint job, where you can see the flesh color still around the neck.
It works so well, and it's fantastic. And this movie is, honestly, to this day, one of the greatest horror films out there. My father actually told me stories of how the ending of this film had the entire theater terrified walking home afterwards.
Oh, absolutely,
which is awesome. And I love that, and you don't see that many times anymore, except for Hereditary. That was one of the times that it affected people after
that made me almost... That wasn't a terrified walk home. That was almost a jump off the bridge kind of... I don't want to live anymore. But that's another...
We're here to talk about Halloween. To this day, this movie does hold up, I think.
Absolutely.
I think it holds up 100%, and it's kind of the reason, aside from Nightmare on Elm Street, that I love the slasher subgenre so much. I love that.
So much is done with so little time and so little
time and so little
everything, little time, little budget, little everything. Yes. This movie grew out of nothing.
It's so hard reviewing films that like everybody in the world has seen.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what am I supposed to say about it? Like, it's a fucking genius film directed by a filmmaker who is
legend.
Yeah, he is a filmmaking legend, and this, in my opinion, is probably I mean, it is one of his standouts, obviously, but in my opinion, it's probably the most, like, Carpenter-esque, if that makes sense. Like, when I think John Carpenter, the first feel I think of is the feel that Halloween creates. John Carpenter is obviously a master composer, as well as a master director, and the score for this film is iconic. It is ingrained in the cultural zeitgeist to this day. There's not a person over 6 years old who doesn't recognize the score to Halloween, and it's so simple and it's so brilliant. You could hear the first couple notes of this soundtrack, and you know instantly what it's from. It is. And you associate it with this time of year. You associate it with the visuals from this film, and then also not just the main theme, obviously, but just like the single note on one note on a piano, one note. The start. Not that one. No. The dun. Yes. Dun. Yes.
Oh, that, yeah, and then the
yes.
Oh.
It is so iconic, and John Carpenter really, like, of all his horror scores, he has quite a few. There's The Thing, there's The Fog, Christine. He's done plenty, and some of them are very good. The Thing and The Fog specifically are very great, but
nothing compares.
Nothing compares to Halloween. There's nothing out there that elicits the same emotions that the score to this movie does.
It's unbeatable.
It is unbeatable, I agree. And it's one of the greatest horror scores of all time. And you can go off about fucking Goblin if you want with Suspiria. They're great. But I do agree that they don't have anything on Carpenter here. In addition to that, Carpenter's just a great fucking director in general. The cinematography of this film is pretty much impeccable, which is amazing considering the budget and the early days of his career. Everything about this movie screams Halloween. It screams the season.
Especially the title.
Well, fuck you. It gives you all the wonderful, like, autumn vibes that you would get, which is ironic because, as you said, it was shot in the spring or the summer. I do think it's absolutely beautiful, the cinematography. There's so many just gorgeous, like, sweeping wide shots of suburban California. And it gives you this feeling that you don't get very often, and you don't get with many films. There's a few films that have elicited a similar feeling. It Follows being one of them. That's why I say it's the greatest John Carpenter film not directed by John Carpenter. But in addition to that, like, there's so much to love about this film. The POV shots of Myers fucking going through the house. You have something to say?
Yeah, I want to segue into the lake. The still shots in the original fucking Halloween. You know exactly which one I'm talking about too. I'm talking about Tommy Doyle
looking out the window.
Ooh,
yes.
Trick-or-treaters walking by, thinking he sees something, pulling back the blinds, and that still unmoving shot with children laughing in the background. It's completely dark.
Standing across the
street lights dim, and in that street light, illuminated by the side light of the house of the I forget the family's name, but
I know what you're talking about though. Yeah.
The adjacent family's house, the shape just standing there, staring.
Fun fact: that's not Nick Castle.
Oh yeah.
No, that's the. Well, she was the producer, the production designer.
Deborah Hill.
Yes.
We happen to reside in the great state of New Jersey.
We do.
We're not telling you where because you're all a bunch of fucking creeps.
That's mean. Don't be mean to them.
But we love you. I'm just messing, guys. We actually live in. We live 50 minutes from Haddonfield, New Jersey.
Yes, which is
where Deborah Hill grew up.
Yes.
Deborah Hill grew up in Haddonfield, New Jersey, the town in Halloween, Haddonfield, Illinois.
Yes.
Checkmate, atheists.
There is a lot to love about this film. There are several iconic moments that, again, to this day, are so burned into the public brain, the hive mind.
I'll say it.
Go for it.
Greatest kill in horror history.
The wall? Yes.
Most iconic Bob up against the wall.
It will
squirming.
For me, what makes that isn't even the kill, it's what follows and Michael's actions, and you learn so much about him just from that little head tilt back and forth, just like admiring his work. He never speaks a word, but that moment tells you everything you need to know about Michael Myers.
Can we also incorporate the logistics of it? The sheer force to drive a fucking butcher knife through a man's chest
and pin him to a wall.
And pin him to a fucking closet.
Several inches above the ground. It's iconic, and that moment, like I said, it tells you everything you need to know. That is terrifying. Because that is the point you realize he's not, he's not crazy. He's not he's not a monster. He's not anything that is out of this world aside from invincible. He's admiring his work.
He's evil.
Yes.
He is, what Dr. Loomis says, he is evil on two legs. He is a killing machine.
He's not thoughtless, though. He's very thoughtful. That's the whole thing with the head tilt.
He's not thoughtless, but he has a one-track mind.
Yes,
it's
but
kill.
Well, that's what's scary about it, though, is that he has a one-track mind. It's kill. There's plenty of movies that have that.
But there's something there.
Jason has a one-track mind. Jason's thought is kill. Michael's clearly having fun with it.
Yeah.
He puts on a fucking bed sheet and stands in the doorway
how can we ever forget?
For like 5 minutes just to fuck with someone and make her think that he's her boyfriend. That is so intentional, and that's so unsettling because he knows exactly what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He's from an affluent family in the suburbs of Illinois.
There's nothing that should have set him off.
Not at all. He just kills.
One day.
And there's nothing behind his eyes. And that is horrific. And then on top of that, you can't fucking kill him.
Yeah, that's what we also learned later.
Well, again, it's all a metaphor because you can't destroy evil. No, you can't. This is the movie that put Jamie Lee Curtis on the map as well.
Heart Jamie.
I mean, she, daughter of Janet Leigh from Psycho.
The queen of the Scream Queens.
Yes, and then you have Jamie Lee Curtis, who became the Scream Queen after this.
The Scream Princess.
Well,
heir to the Scream
Queenage. But Queenage, doesn't matter. She gives such a good, vulnerable performance in this. Oh. She's so innocent, and you really can't help but root for her because Laurie is such a good character.
Strong.
She's a girl.
She defines the strong female lead in slasher genre.
Absolutely. She created that stereotype, and granted, not everyone used it to its full potential, but Laurie Strode is the iconic final girl. She is the epitome of that trope. Michael is, in a sense, a metaphor for
evil.
Well, yes, but also in regards to Laurie's, entire journey, it's about the harsh realities of the world and
the loss of innocence.
And the loss of innocence, and Laurie proving that she is, able to move on with her life and be a functional human outside of this. Well, depending on how you view the sequels.
Yeah, that we get into later.
Yeah, but that's its own thing. When a film like this is so many actors, probably their first film, and for the most part, all the performances delivered, especially Donald Pleasence.
Oh my god! I mean, Donald Pleasence was a well-established actor before this. I mean, look at him in.
Did he not want to do this, or am I crazy?
I don't know. No. Betsy Palmer did not want to do Friday the 13th.
That's what it was. Okay.
He's a great actor
in general. And
he was the big name on the
Dr. Loomis is just,
Yeah.
Another iconic
He crafted that character. He made that character.
I don't think there's a single line from this movie that you can't quote at this point.
I can't quote it from heart.
Wow, that's surprising.
I know. I
can't quote the entirety of Jaws.
Oh. Fun fact, when I was about 8 years old, back in the day at Blockbuster, my family rented Jaws from Blockbuster, and my parents worked a lot, so I really had nothing to do but watch Jaws over and over and over, and it got stuck in the VCR. So I watched Jaws about maybe 300 times one summer. Then I ejected it one day, and it spit the tape out, and I thought I was going to get arrested, and I cried.
Is that a future story?
Yes. Tommy Doyle and Lindsay are watching the original 1951 Howard Hughes' The Thing.
54?
Was it 54?
I thought it was 54.
Fact check us. The original Howard Hughes, RKO Pictures, The Thing, from another world, on the little black and white set, as chaos is starting to unfold. What a premonition that in 4 short years later, Carpenter would... He definitely did that. He definitely had intentions of remaking that movie.
Oh, he definitely did.
That's why he put that in there. I know that was definitely one of his
goddamn good job.
Yeah, that's for another day.
Yeah, but the point is...
That scene of when they're watching The Thing, and Tommy stands behind the curtain to scare Lindsay. Remember, Lindsay? And spooking her out. Yes. And then he turns around, and as the the music from the theremin is building in the thing, it
Yeah.
sort of morphs into the current situation, and he turns around and you see Michael walking with Annie's corpse,
Yes.
limp. That is a bone-chilling scene, phenomenally done. And then Lindsay bumps into Tommy and he starts screaming and he goes fucking slackjaw. I don't know, so he loses the ability to speak. You gotta watch it because he starts. There's a
We could go on about this film for hours, and we really wouldn't make any headway because there's just so much to talk about and so much to love. And honestly, like, there's no really easy way to summarize it all because it's from 1978. You have years of people studying it and just analyzing it to no end, and there are countless videos saying everything that we've said already. There's no reason for us to really...
small fish in a very big pond of people who love this movie.
Yes, exactly. And honestly, like, it is to this day, it holds up perfectly, and it is a masterpiece of horror cinema. And I mean, there's no really two ways about it. I mean, it has shaped the culture it's shaped the culture to this day. It has changed things to a point where it crafted an entire subgenre in its own image. And everybody should watch it because it's fucking great. I'm going to say that Halloween is a genre masterpiece.
Absolute genre masterpiece.
I mean, there's really nothing else to say. It has an amazing score and incredible cinematography and solid acting that put several actors on the map.
Just an incredible story.
Yes, it is a good story, and it's a simple story. And Carpenter does so much with so little in that case. And you have the birth of a horror icon in Michael Myers. A character who, realistically, could have just been another killer. He could have easily just been another forgettable horror movie villain. And it's between John Carpenter's amazing writing and Nick Castle's amazing performance with nothing but body language that he turned into a staple of horror and a villain that everybody recognizes from a couple simple things. White mask, butcher knife, iconic theme.
Coveralls.
Boom.
That's it.
I don't really have much else to say about that aside from that if you haven't seen Halloween for some reason, it's 2018. You have a sequel to it coming out in 2 days. Go see that shit.
Comment on the bottom of this video in response to this trivia question, and we'll give you a thumbs up. That's all, because we don't have the funds to mail out gifts.
We don't have money.
We'll give you a thumbs up. Either tell me the name of the garage that the mechanic that Michael murdered to get his coveralls worked at, or the name of the strip club that the nurse that was driving the car with Loomis to Smith's Grove in the beginning of the film. Give me the name of the strip club that the book of matches on her dashboard came from.
Do that.
Just
and if you don't want to do that, if you don't have the time to do that, comment below and tell us what your favorite moment in this film is, what your favorite shot, what your favorite scene is, because it is an iconic film, and everybody has stuff they like about it.
Yeah, and no cheating on mine.
No cheating on his. No cheating on him. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, guys. There's a Patreon link down in the description if you want to donate money to this channel and help us make better quality videos and more videos for y'all to enjoy. And if you want to see him come back around more, you know, give us money. Or don't. Either way, I don't really care, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And
you cheated on me when I specifically asked you not to?
I'll see you all very soon.
Halloween, the night he came home.